we're gonna be rounding 16, 17. We'll see. As soon as he came out of the job, he's easing the sheet as soon as he can. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 14th and 15th. You can't quite see him in there. You see a pink kite. There it is. Pink kite's Tommy, purple kite's Bella. So about 14th or 15th. Not bad. What happened is the southwest wind we've been expecting for a little while hit in right on that first beat. And they wanted to go right. There was more wind on the right. They knew it. They just couldn't get there. So I'm happy. Lena having their best race. They're in 18, 19th. So they're having kind of one of their best races. And then the jibe set put them underneath people. So again, every windward mark rounding is different only from the standpoint, are you rounding with a bunch of boats, rounding with some boats, or rounding with no boats? If we round with a bunch of boats, we got to make sure we're not the one that's getting in the position of just getting hammered by the pack. So they're all different in just that one way. Race 2 on Sunday, race 7 for the regatta. There's the finish line right there. And that, as I'm going by that, I'm looking at that and I'm saying the boat end is further downwind. And then I look down here and I look at the gates, and the first thing I notice is that they are 14 boat lengths apart, 15. That's a long gate. And that one looks enormously further upwind because you're gonna see everybody's on port tack, except for the leader, just jibed. Every single boat is on port tack here. The wind has gone 15 degrees right during this race. And that end, no one's gonna go around the other end. You're gonna see the aft. So these are all the things you notice. Right about here, as you go by the committee boat, you get your spinnaker halyard all straightened up so that you don't get a twist at the mark down here. As you go past there, you clean up the boat. That's the cue I use to remind me to clean up my boat, is right as I go past the committee boat. Very short leg to the finish line. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bella could be, she's ahead of Tommy, she could be around the top 10. She has a lane, no one's blocking her wind, she's got to get the kite in the right place. There it goes, right there. Okay, so now she just keeps the boat ripping fast now. As you get down into this mode of racing, you have bad air from the boats going back upwind. You've got to sail the boat a little bit speedy. You got to try to get it moving. They drop their spinnaker so early. But biggest strength was last race. She got really hammered on boats that got inside of her at the mark. Now she's gonna it's gonna happen again. God, see, she's gonna have the same thing happen. That's okay. We're learning. Took the spinnaker down way too early. That was the problem. It's not very windy. We're at 3 knots here. But beating a lot of boats. 1 minute to go for race 3 on Sunday. I want to go back to the last video on the run. After you take your pole off, you keep flying the spinnaker. You got to free fly the spinnaker. You don't want to take the pole off and immediately drop when you're still about 8 boat lengths from the mark, because what happens is people get late overlaps even when they're not entitled to them. But you come in at such a bad angle that everybody says they're overlap. Okay, here we go again. We got all 3 of our guys going for the same tactic last time. I mean, this is a hard thing to do. The current is now, what is it, almost 3 o'clock. The current is coming in now. Now what Bella should have done is more close reached. You don't want to go close hauled up into bad air. You go ahead and sail a little low and you try to get moving. And she's doing a good job. See how she's looking, and she's going to try to find a spot here. Not panicking. She's... Zero boats over early in the I flag. Okay, well, Tommy accomplished his goal. Laid at the boat, tack right away. I mean, it's a pretty short line. I'm not sure what the answer is. I still think I would be 4 boat lengths from the committee boat end, trying to start right on the line. Underneath the boat to windward, so then I can sail a little and tack. Oh, good. Look how fast she's going. Tommy had a 5th the first race, and I thought his jib was a little too... What was the first race? I thought his jib was a little too loose. Now his jib looks at least tight enough. His jib looks really good. This is what PD looks like. PD's probably a little better at playing the main sheet, just the tiniest bit to shape the main, the bottom of the main, a little ease it, a little more roundness, pull it hard to flatten leading edge, but overall I think Tommy's sails look very good. Flat water, pretty damn flat sails. Race 3 on Sunday, race 8 for the regatta. We got one more after this, and Tommy looks awful small. Where did Bella go? Oh, there she is right here. I look at her, and they were pretty right next to her. Look how small Tommy looks out there. So I think Tommy's done pretty well. It looks like a big puff over there. He just got headed too. So he digs into that header, makes sure he points the same direction as that guy to windward and gets moving. And just a little more patient. Keep going, wait for these boats to cave down to us. Make sure these boats look like they're not way lifted, and tack. And I think it's a good time to tack. Because now what happens is he doesn't get slammed. Those guys keep going. Let those guys cross. Now what he does is he comes this way, and if there's a bunch of boats crossing him, he'll get as close to him as he can, still bow out and tack again. But if he's crossing people, he goes and crosses them, and then tacks right in the face of somebody. Depends on how many he crosses. He was crossing everybody on the left, including Pete. He was crossing 7632 even. So then he came back underneath them. Perfect. If I was him, I probably would have just gone a little further up, got a little closer to Pete, just because Pete is fast. So then Preston could watch Pete, and we could kind of try to have his speed enhance our speed, you know, where we're hopefully almost as fast as Pete. This is good, dude. You might have gained here just a tiny bit. We'll see. Now, Pete's really good, and these guys practice this a lot, so that's why they can do this, but they're actually trapping right now. And this takes a lot of practice. You have to practice it so that you don't disrupt the boat and make the skipper foot off like crazy. What trapping does is it makes the boat so flat that the skipper bears away looking for more power. But these guys are actually just starting to trap, and it's not even 8 knots. And Tommy's right here in the middle, lifted a little. So let's see what happens here. The mark is way over here. Way over here. Where is it? Right there. Race 3 on Sunday. There's the mark. Here comes Tommy. Hard to say, you know, the wind went left. It got cooler all of a sudden, and Tommy tacked underneath the pack there, and then we got lifted. And so the left turned out to be not as bad as it could have been. But the good news is the mark is right here, and I think a bunch of people have overstood by a freaking country mile. Pete Bush is just shy of ley line, 7.632. And look at everybody to the right of him. I mean, we'll see when Pete goes around here. Okay, here goes Tommy. Yeah, this is good. There's plenty of wind where Tommy is right now. He looks at the water, he sees a lot of wind, then he lets the boat carve up and does the biggest, best roll tack of his life, and he rounds again in the top 10 every race. Really good tack. Plenty of wind. He's got to he came out of the tack pointing a little too high. Oh, this is scary. Yep, here goes Pete. Pete's going to sail 10 seconds on port and tack again. So Tommy's slowing down a little bit. He's just trying to put himself in a position where he can tack behind somebody. Yeah, he's going to go behind Shane. One, two, three, 4, 5. Tommy likes the righty, so Tommy's going to jibe set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going towards clear air. Tommy's lucky because these people are all flailing right now. I mean, this pack is dead. There is nobody in this pack going fast except for 8061. She's just, and this guy. So Tommy's golden, dude. Jibe set. They've really decided that this weekend that's the move. You can put your pull out on the port side before the mark, so you can take the pull out, lay it on with the front right out near the new tack or the new guy, and so that you don't have to take it all the way out. That's a good job right there. Good. So now they're going to gain on this because they have wind this time. Last time they had a good game plan, but the pack behind them sat on them so bad after the jibe set.